We're on day number 22. Can you believe it's been 22 days? Day number 22 in the Show Up Challenge. So much has happened. Such wonderful and great things have happened. But let me just get right into it. So, on yesterday, we talked about respect. We talked about using your consideration muscle, is what I called it. And this is basically flexing your muscle about respect, about having consideration for others, and mostly making sure that others are having consideration for you. We talked about what it is and how to show respect. Yeah, we did. We talked about listening, affirming, and just basically being polite and kind and being thankful. We talked about who we extended our respect to, which was military, healthcare workers, and medical workers, especially during this time. It's consideration for them, it's thoughtfulness for them, as well as for you. We talked about courtesy, attentiveness, just paying attention and being there. We talked about who really requires it, and you should always require respect for yourself. Those who have authority over you and those who you have authority over, they should respect you, and you should also respect them. I shared with you a little bit about my story, and I gave you some action steps to take about making a list. I ask you to make a list of those people who have not respected you, or you believe that you were not respected. Make a list of what they are, and right beside them, put a dash or a hyphen and what it was that they did. And you can choose to go back to them and address that, but you want to get that out of you so that you know what that was and who that is. And that's what we talked about yesterday. Today we're talking about show up as you train them up. That's our title for today. Show up as you train them up. And we're talking about children's lives. Their lives. It's all about their lives and how important it is for them. So I always say every moment in a child's life is a teaching moment. It's an opportunity for them to learn because they have been on the earth a few months, a couple of years. They've been here only 8 years. They've been here only 11 years. But we have been here years and years and years. And we have a lot of knowledge, a lot more that they know. And so I always want to make sure that I answer all their questions. And so today is all about their lives. It's important that we know and we satisfy their needs. We need to make sure that they are always happy. They need to be happy. They need to have purpose in their life. They need to have control and caring. And also, they need affection and love and emotional support. That's all a part of their growing up. They need physical affection. Definitely their play is social play. They need that. They need structure when we talk about control and consistency. They need something that's going to always be there for them. They have and need to have positive role models. So it's important for us to always show that to them and point that out for them. And those positive role models, you could actually be that role model for them. They always gleam from adults and from you, especially if you're a parent or if you're an auntie or an uncle or if you're a godparent. Actually, grandparents, they love that. This is about their lives. It's important for us to build their self-esteem. It needs to be a strong esteem. That is so important for them to feel safe. They need to feel secure in their home as well as in other areas. What children are we talking about? We're talking about any child. So any child is, of course, yours, but also your nephews or your nieces. The child could be your cousins or your neighbor's children. It could be your godchild. It can be your young cousins or your grandchildren. We're talking about any child in your life, any child in your social areas. It's an opportunity for them to learn. And so take the time and actually teach them. I have had experience and I've seen where parents would say, oh, go somewhere. I'm sure you all might have heard that. Sometimes they'll say that, and that's because the parents actually don't know the answers. But the child actually don't know. The child is more innocent and have no knowledge. I had that experience myself personally as well. And that's because the parents did not know how to describe what it was that the child was asking. But take the time and learn. You need to educate yourself about what it was or what it is. And so I recently had a child that asked me a question, and I took the time and explained it. And next thing you know, I was in astronomy and I was talking about the stars and the sciences. And my grandson recently asked me about a little cover knob. Yeah, I had to think about what that was. A cover knob that goes on top of um, the nail, a nail on the floor or on a wall. It was wood, and they have the cover cap that covers it so that it's a finishing touch. And I had to think of it. He said, "What's that?" And I had to think about what was that and what do I call it and give it its name. Of course, he went on to other things, but let me tell you, they are sponges, especially up until the age of 5. And some say they continue to be sponges up until 8 and 10 years old. They learn so much from us. You can say some things one time and they receive it and it stays and it's ingrained in them. So take the time to teach them about money. Please teach them about money. You all know so many of us adults were not taught about money at all, about debt and about what is good and the fact that debt is not good. Teach them about teamwork, about working together and how valuable it is for them to work together. Teach them kindness, of course. I'm sure you all do that, and you all know that. Teach them responsibility and diversity. We had the recent and still ongoing social unrest as well as racial unrest in this country. And it's been global as well. But we want to teach them about that, and a lot of parents have done that. Teach them about their emotions. Teach them about what's going on with the pandemic. Explain to them what COVID is and what it stands for and what it means. Teach them about home care, about caring for themselves and caring for their bodies. It's so much. You can teach them about seeing the difference between positive things and things that are problems and how to problem solve. And teach them the positive aspects of it so that they learn and they know that. There are all kind of methods for teaching, and one of them is lecture, which is almost like what I'm doing. You're actually talking to them and explaining some things, and children have many ways, and we too have many ways that we learn. But you can also teach them by having a discussion or brainstorming or role playing, depending on the age. You can give them a demonstration and show them how to demonstrate, experiment, brainstorm with them. So those are some examples. Again, this is about us showing up in our children's lives, and we're showing up as we train them up, because they're going to always be learning, always gaining. And even as they get older, even when they get into their teenage years, they're still going to be learning. Let's go there. Yes, in their 20s, and yes, sometimes in their 30s. By those times, I remember, yeah, you thought you knew everything at 20, but you're going to always be learning. This past weekend, I shared with you I was at a resort in some of the previous days, and I was learning. I had never been camping except for as a child going to camp at 13, 11, 10 years old. And it was a new experience for me. So I was not in a child state, but I was learning. And my husband was teaching me some things. My in-laws were teaching me some things. I learned a lot. But anyway, so this is what I'm going to ask you parents to do. This is not an action step, but this is something that I wish I had, because this not always happened for me. But I was a child that liked learning, and I still like learning. That's probably why my primary gift is a teaching gift. I am gifted as a teacher. Take them to museums and point out those things. Take the time to study about the museum you're going to take them to so that you're aware of some things. And of course, they have curators there that will explain some things to you. Take them to a park. I remember I had my young niece with me, and we were traveling on our subway system here. And then we took a walk. But she was asking questions about the subway and why was we in the subway and how was it working. Interestingly enough, there was another passenger on the train, and she said, "You are doing a good job." She thought I was a parent, but I told her no, it's not her mother. I was her aunt. And the woman understood even more because of what I was explaining to my niece, what I was answering her. But every single moment is a teaching moment. So take them on nature trails, take them to the zoo, explain to them about the animals, but not only just the animals, explain to them about the structures and the reason why there are trees and the different exhibits. Explain to them what an exhibit is. They're not too young to learn these. Take them to a place and show them about geography. Okay, I'm not going to say you're a geography teacher, but explain to them from where they live, right here in their home or their apartment, wherever their house is. Explain to them about their street and what their street address is and what that means. Explain to them about the street. There is a community. From the community, there is a neighborhood. From the neighborhood, there is a town or a city. Explain those things to them. Explain to them how it's made up. Show them the map. Show them the map of the state. Show them the region as well as the country, and move them into the fact that the state is actually inside of the country and the world. You're showing up for them and showing up in their lives. Show them outside of the globe, the world. Show them the galaxy. Explain these things to them. So this is all about showing up as you show up in your children's lives. Show up as you train them up. I have questions for you. My questions always, is this helping you? Am I talking to you? Is this benefiting you? And have you been loving this? And then I also want to ask you if you need help, because if you need help a little bit further in this, I like for you to let me know in the comments. We have several of you all that I am going to be working with, but you all know what had happened based on what I shared with you on yesterday. And so I have been just a couple of days behind, but I am catching up today as well. So tomorrow is the big day for me, and I have a lot I'm going to share with you. So your free gifts. Yes, I have your free gifts. So let me just tell you. Let me not just tell you, let me show you. So this, I've been sharing with you, this is one of our gifts, the American Express gift card. So I actually have another gift card. This is a $100 American Express gift card, and this is going to be our number one gift that we're giving away. Also, we have, you see this? An Amazon gift card is going to be a $50 gift card as well. And then we also have another American Express gift card. It's a $25 gift card. In addition, there's going to be coaching classes available for you if you want that as an investment and for yourself, for your future learning. Your action step is to come up with some things that you're going to do in sharing with your children and sharing with the children that are in your life, all of the different children. Show them to your great-grandchildren as well. I didn't mention those. My wish for you today is that this Show Up Challenge is a benefit for you, that it helps you to grow, that it's causing you to grow. And so many of you have told me that it helps you to grow. It's my wish also that it helps to perfect you, and it helps you to show up in every area, in all areas of your life. That is it for today in the Show Up Challenge, day number 22. You all have a good day today, and I will see you all tomorrow.